Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to today's video. Once again, it is another car video and it is relating to my bad boy Infiniti over here. Really what I'm going to focus on today is just talking about the OEM sport wheels slash tire combo that comes straight from the factory with these cars. So right now I'm actually using the OEM sport wheels with the original tires that come with them, the run flats, as my primary winter wheels. If you recall in my past videos, I did have my Ferrata wheels. Those are put away for now, again, just to keep them nice and not let the salt beat on them and corrode them away faster. Had to throw in the heavy stock wheels. But I'm going to talk about that and actually tell you how good they are of winter wheels. So I live in Illinois, and in the last couple weeks, we've had insane polar vortexes and blizzards galore. So I've actually had to drive through all of that in the minus 50 degree with wind chill weather. Drove no problem, and same with driving through about 10 inches worth of snow during a blizzard that we had. I had to drive probably about an hour's distance on these wheels, and I was quite impressed. This really will be just a video talking about those sport wheels. So I hope you guys do enjoy the video. So for reference, for those of you that are new to my channel, new to my videos, I do drive the 2014 Infiniti Q50 Sport. This is the all-wheel drive model, and as you can tell, there are those OEM wheels with the original tires as well. Again, here's the car. I do have various other videos featuring the car itself in better detail, so this is just a quick snippet of exactly what kind of car I have. Alright, so here we are, a little bit closer view of the actual wheel and tire itself. If we're looking at tire size, again, you can see that it's 245 by 40 by 19 inch. So again, 245 is the thickness of the tire itself. The 40 is basically the thickness of the actual tire. And then of course 19 meaning the diameter of the actual wheel that the tire needs to fit on. So these are 19-inch wheels all across. And as you can see down below, you got this little symbol down here indicating that it is run flat. So with this manufacturer of tire, it is Dunlop. Again, these are going to be what come right out of the factory if you do purchase the Infiniti vehicles. I know as far as the Q50 and Q60 are going to come with the run flat tires. I'm not quite sure on the other models when it comes to SUVs, for example. But this is what you're going to expect straight out of the factory. Again, this is the sport model, as you can see by the wheels and the brake calipers, of course, that are typically only with the sport. Again, the wheel itself definitely is attractive. It's nice. And I'll kind of show you the grooves of the tire a little bit more so you kind of get an idea of what the tread looks like. Alright, so here we can kind of see the tread a little bit. It definitely is getting, it's getting there. I actually plan on getting these changed out soon. I would say by next winter season I'll probably be on winter tires. I might even look into Blizzak tires. Again, with these are the OEM. Again, I have not ever changed these. This is a 2014, so these are the same tires from when it was first bought. Just kind of some history on the car itself. It was, I think, a leased model, so for the first 3 years of its lifespan, it was hardly driven. I was really the one that started putting on a little more miles on it in the last couple of years. So now, since I've had these off probably for about a year and a half, I only put them on about 3 months ago when I was doing my swap to get the car prepped for winter. So now you can kind of start seeing, as I've been driving, it is starting to wear away at the tire a lot more. And I'm actually quite impressed because for those of you that are not familiar with my car and what I've done to it, it is currently lowered on RSR springs. You can kind of see the gap here. It's actually not too bad. Probably a couple fingers if anything. from top of the tire to top of the fender. But again, you can see for yourself that in the last 3 months of driving, there's pretty much no uneven wear on the tire, because the end of the tire is literally right here for reference, if you can't really see it. And again, being the tread that's on there and what I've driven through in the last 2 weeks, I am actually quite impressed. I was a bit nervous thinking that, this isn't enough tread depth for the tire, but it actually handled very well. And of course, the additional perk to the car is it's all-wheel drive, so it really helps maintain the stability if you are slipping and sliding. And again, I was quite surprised that given the tire wear on this, how it performed in about 60 miles where I had to drive through a blizzard, all in one go. So again, there was minimal fishtailing. If anything, I was probably going tops 30 to 35 miles an hour in about maybe 4 to 6 inches of snow. And again, up in northern Illinois, we get definitely a good amount of snow, and this thing definitely did a great job with performing. So again, these tires are of course frowned upon for, first of all, causing a lot of road noise. Very rough, because with run flats, when you drive over bumps, you can feel a lot of it. And again, I'm on RSR springs too, so you feel it a little more than you typically would if you were OEM suspension. So that's again something to take into consideration too, and something I've definitely noticed when I went from my Ferrata wheels to the OEM sport wheels and tires. So again, that's kind of what I noticed, especially with these wheels. They definitely do pretty good in the snow. They're fairly narrow. They're not too thick to the point where they're literally just gliding on the snow. They actually sink through the snow pretty well and actually keep their grip. So again, that's the run flats. I myself am not a fan of it, just because you hit one minor bump and you feel like the whole underside of the car just bottomed out or something. Again, the car is heavy and you can really feel it with these tires. And granted, I'm lowered, but again, it's something that, it enhances the vibration and feeling of it with these tires when you're driving on potholes and divots in the road. All right, so to the best of my abilities to kind of showcase this. So right here is the rear. Now, you can see how much lower it sits, because again, I'm on RSR springs all-wheel drive. So here, it's right around the 2-finger from top of the tire to bottom of the fender. So again, clearance is definitely not an issue with these tires. The profile on them is, again, pretty decent. The profile is 40, as you can tell there. And again, I kind of also did, you can see the white lettering on there. That's something that I just did with like a paint marker when I had the tires off. Again, you can kind of see it's really looking pretty dull, again, because of all the salt and all the winter craziness that we've been getting. It's kind of difficult to really show the tread on the rear, but given that most of the power is coming from the rear wheels, especially if you floor it, for example, there definitely might be a little bit more wear on the rear tires, but nothing significant. No unusual wear from being lowered. I had alignments done and everything to make sure that wasn't going to be an issue. But again, they grip fairly well. Am I a fan of them? Again, definitely not. Something I'm looking forward to changing soon. So there's not much else really going on with these particular wheels. Again, the reason why I really enjoy these as winter wheels is because they're also really heavy. Now, I'm going to kind of ballpark the weight, and I'm going to say it's somewhere in the 60-pound range if you weigh the wheel with the tire together. Again, the tires, of course, definitely heavier, and again, it also helps really with the snow driving too when it comes to driving through a crazy blizzard like I had to deal with. Very good job, again, in that aspect of things, but again, these tires definitely help again, with as much grip as they can, given how much is really on there. So here's kind of how you can tell that, it's starting to get there. It's probably even time to change these tires, if anything. The wear definitely is very, very noticeable. And on the bottom, again, here's the distance from the floor to basically the edge of the rim. So here's how much profile you have. Believe it or not, even with that, it feels freaking horrendous sometimes to hit a pothole. A lot of people that I've seen on forums and on Facebook pages where they just hit a hole and they just burst the side of their tire. Typically the run flat tires tend to kind of implode outwards, almost like this weird little bubble. And again, it's some kind of manufacturing with these tires that is just not the greatest. And I've drove into some just absolute hell with these things by mistake. You know, you get these divots in the road, or if it's raining extremely hard, you can't always see some of these potholes. And of course, I definitely took, you know, some heavy hits. You know, I would even say that's probably one right there. I would probably imagine somehow it maybe hit. There was even chunks of tire that looked like they were missing. If I could try to find it, like right here, it looks like a piece of chunk, like a chunk of tire got ripped out. You can kind of see along the edge here. There's not a whole lot, but definitely this guy right here, you can tell probably ended up hitting something pretty hard on the road. These things take a lot of you know, crap that comes at it, but it's still definitely something that won't last long, especially if you keep driving on that kind of stuff. Alright guys, so we had a chance to kind of look at the tires. Again, apologize for the lighting in here. Garage really doesn't offer me too much in terms of lighting. So here are the tires again, kind of a different angle, but that's really all that I kind of can cover on the run flats for the Infiniti Q50s. Again, these are stock that come with the car. Not terrible, but definitely not one that, you know, that I really enjoy driving on. These tires definitely can do a little bit more when it comes to comfort. Again, being a little more reliable, like I mentioned, sometimes these things could like implode if you hit a pothole at a certain speed. It's not so good, but again, for winter wheels, they're not bad at all. Again, these are seasonal. I'm going to change them out to my summer wheels, and then come next winter, I'm probably going to throw on some Blizzaks, and then I'll do a review of that just to see how well they handle in the snow. I had Blizzaks on my 370Z, and that thing was a beast. Being rear-wheel drive, you can drive without slipping anywhere. Obviously, you got to be smart and use common knowledge in a rear-wheel drive vehicle like a 370Z. But again, Blizzaks definitely helped. For an all-wheel drive car, I can't even imagine. This thing is going to mob through the snow like a tank. So I'm really looking forward to next year, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks.